I don't think there's really any need for us to change that. You're just gonna have a windfall, I think, at the end of the year. I think it's gonna be considerable, which is good.
Well, we can always bring it back in a minute should we need to.
Right, right.
Under public input, we have Mr. Noah McKenna, trash service. Mr. McKenna, if you would address the microphone, and you have 5 minutes, sir.
All right, Mike's already introduced me, so I won't have to do that. I'm Norman McKinney. Before I go into my business, I'd like to thank Mike and all the commissioners for the outstanding work that y'all have done for the citizens of Appleton County.
Thank you.
I also like to make a statement. I have no problem with Ryland Trash. They do an outstanding job, as far as I'm concerned, especially young man John Nail. He's a very easy person to work with, so I got no problem with that at all. What my questions are, I get rumors through the grapevine, plus I saw in the Baxley News banner here a few weeks ago about the county, if I'm not mistaken, remembering what the banner said. It said that the county was paying $8,800 per month for bills that had to be make up. And if that's correct, then you multiply it by 12, that'd really get your attention. My question is also, I understand we got a contract with Ryland with 4,500 cans, but they're only picking up 3,500. So there's a question mark there. Maybe something else wrong with that contract. If we sign the contract picking up 4,500 cans, but they only have to pick up 3,500, I don't know, something that don't add up there. Another thing, really the reason I'm up here is I understand that they are thinking about, the county, you guys are thinking about putting this on the property tax. Well, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but as a small business owner, I have a good bit of rental, and I pay it on a monthly basis. It's kind of like an honor system. This young man, John Nail, and I sat down when they first took over the contract. Some months I might pay them for 50 cans, and some months I'm only had to pay them for 45 cans. And it's kind of like an honor system. I send it in, telling them what lots is empty, what rent is empty, the trailers is empty, the house is empty. So I just pay them for what they pick up. And I had no problem with it. I haven't had no problem with it. They've had no problem with it. But my question is, if the county takes this over, are you going to let me pay by the month? Or are you going to bill me by the quarter? Or are you going to bill me by the yearly? And I tell you right now, I could not hack the yearly. I don't even think I could hack the quarterly, because fluctuation there, I don't see how the county could keep up with billing me correctly the way it is now. Whereas right now, it's fine. If I have somebody to move out, I just take that trash can and store it away. And then when somebody moves in, I add it to the list that I send Ryland monthly. And I pay them roughly around $800 a month. And if I had to do that quarterly, you could see where the fluctuation wouldn't equal up to my collected, and especially by yearly. I'm not for letting nobody get by with not paying that garbage fee, because we have an outstanding system, I think, now. I remember back in the old days when the Bullards had it, of course, they worked hard like to kill themselves working, but it just didn't pan out. And at that time, I'd go to Bullards and they tell me to go to the courthouse here, courthouse annex, and I couldn't even find nobody in the courthouse annex that would even want to take my check. There was nobody assigned to take care of that business. So if the county takes this responsibility on, you better think about, who am I going to really hire somebody to take care of this job, because it's going to be a pretty big job, I think, for somebody to take care of this bill. So I don't know, I have a lot of unanswered questions, and maybe y'all not ready to prepare right now to answer all them, but that's just the way my problem is. And I've always found out in my own life, if I didn't know what I was doing, sometimes it would be best if I sat back and looked the situation over real good before I made any movements. So I'm asking you to really think about this, how you want to handle this, and is it going to be okay for the county, or is it also going to be okay for the citizens? So that's going to be I think it's going to be a big task for you, because we sure got to have the garbage picked up, ain't no question about that. I guess if you knew me real well, you'd have to say I was a environmentalist. So I really have. I'm a common sense environmentalist, by the way. I don't believe in getting rid of the cows or getting rid of all the fuel vehicles and all that overnight. But anyway, I know trash is a big problem, no question about it. So I just wanted to present the questions that I have here and see if y'all think about it seriously before you take any actions.
Yeah, Mr. Norman, we have a contract with Ryland to assure them or guarantee them so many cans.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference in the money is. That's the difference in the money. When we come up short of that amount of cans, and we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And the other concern is the county putting it on the tax. That's very, very preliminary. It's just been barely discussed.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion on that before we have to go to that route.
Well, another thing, we talk about the county paying it and the state paying it, and the federal government paying it. Really, the citizens, as you know, pays it. I mean, we use that term county, state, and federal to pay all the bills, so to speak. But the bottom line is, we all know that we are that people that pays that. So I know this $8,800, if that's correct, I know I'm paying part of that, like a lot of other citizens in this county is paying it. So I don't look at the county paying it, I look at myself paying it, in so many words. And I don't take no pleasure in somebody not paying that trash. I mean, that irritates me, very much so.
Well, and every board member up here is in the same situation we are, that
Yeah.
you're in. We pay the same thing, we don't
I
like
know,
it
yeah.
either.
I know, yeah.
We're trying to work at it.
Yeah,
But I do appreciate you coming up, I
y'all.
appreciate you.
Like I said
concern.
before, I do appreciate you guys. I know it's an aggravating job at times, and probably people don't appreciate you as much as they ought to. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. So thank you a lot.
We appreciate you coming, Mr. Norman, thank you so much.
I got one request, Mr. Norman. If you would, the questions that you do have,
Say what now?
the questions that you do have that you have posed to us,
Yeah, I'll send you.
could you send that to the
Okay, I'll
our
make up a
manager?
list of them, send them
Yep.
to Mike.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Under public input, Ms. Peggy Smith, litter pickup.
Good evening, County Commissioners. I come to you about Smith's Cleaning Services. We was hired as a contract to do the litter pickup for 2 cycles. Let me take my mask down. We was hired to do the litter pickup for 2 cycles. We completed those 2 cycles. It don't end until October, so if Brooks, which is my point person that I talked to, if he say, hey, we got a couple of roads we need to add or something or other, of that extent, we still got time within that contract because we're done with the litter pickup. But I come to you about extending the contract. I was told on the August 24th meeting with the City Hall that they was going to talk with the county. I don't know if they talked to you, Mr. County Manager, and to see about adding some city roads to the county. I don't know how that process goes, but we are willing to do it. Of course, we are willing to do it. We able to do it. I do have this right here. I don't have it one, but whoever want to look at it. It's just some pictures that I took, just some of them, of some of the trash that we picked up and some of the things that we had to go through to get the trash picked up off the dirt roads and the highways. It is a lot of trash. I know I only have 5 minutes, but it was a lot of trash, but we do have good workers out there picking up the trash. So everybody in this room should have had litter picked up off their highway. If they didn't, those roads should be added to the county list for us to pick up. Because it was a couple of roads where I had to call Brooke and be like, hey, you know, this Ellis Road, you told me to get the paved part, but the dirt road part wasn't added, and it's a mess. So even though it was like only point so many miles, and maybe had been not a waste of my time, but a maybe not adding up to the money and the amount of money and the travel time that I have to put into picking up the trash. I wanted to get it because they are so trashy. They are really trashy. With tires, barrels, burn barrels, mattresses,
Couches, beds.
Refrigerators, microwaves, basketball goals. People may have a burnt mobile home. I don't know who's over picking that stuff up, but when they put it on the side of the road, then it falls up under me to get it. So we do have the county where they come and assist with big projects like recliners that may be stuck in the ditches that we can't get by hand. They'll come and help with the bike hoe. So coming to y'all to extend my contract, hopefully with the city, whatever miles they have. And I'm sure the county has more than 300 miles for the county. Because 10 Mile, VFW Road, none of those roads was on the list. But it's a lot of roads that was not on the list that we are willing to get. Is it any questions?
When did you say your contract
It ends in October.
ends? October?
It ends in October. We started in April.
Can we do that, or we have to put it back out for bid?
You just extended it, right?
Well,
If the contract says we gotta put it back out for bid.
Yeah, we just extended it, we don't have to worry
same
about
rate,
that.
we have to have rate discussion.
Is the contract up in,
The contract won't be up until October, but it's only for 2 cycles. I would recommend more than 2 cycles in a year, but of course, they didn't start until April. So, my opinion, litter pickup need to be done more than, twice a year. So, within 2 cycles.
yeah, I don't see how you get it done.
Yeah.
Doing it
Yes,
twice.
ma'am.
It's just- Time you get through one road, you gotta go back a month later and do it again.
Yes, ma'am, and it's just as worse.
Yeah.
Some of them is just as worse. Some of the guys out there at the landfill, they see all the trash that we bring in. Some of them can't believe how much trash come off of a particular road, but at the end of the day, everybody got a job.
But now, when you talk to the city, what did the city want you to come to us for? I mean, why didn't you do a
They felt-
contract with the city?
I think they felt that some of the city roads needed to be included with the county. I don't know how that process goes. Maybe that's something that they talked to the county manager about. But I think they felt like it was some of the city roads should have been included with the county.
Are you looking at a rate increase?
I'm sorry.
Are you looking at a price increase?
Well, I feel like when they went up in gas, I should have went
Right.
up in my bid.
Sure.
Because it do take, you have to ride the road, that complete road. I'll give 10 Mile an example. It is not 10 miles. It is 16 miles. So you ride 16 miles out on 10 miles, and then, you know, you have to, when the litter is done, then you have to ride back out with the dump trailer or whatever to pick up all the bags. I think this last time we picked up 156 bags, and that's not including tires or anything else. So,
If we wait till next meeting, contract will still be in force, is that correct? It'll be the
Yes.
1st of October. Can you get with the city in that, between now and then, and see what we're talking about, or what they're,
They're wanting for us to pick up trash inside the city on all their roads.
On all their roads, under this contract.
Right.
They're gonna reimburse us for
No.
that.
They want us to pay for it?
Well, that's kind of not right.
Yeah. Well, I can answer that question.
I don't think we gonna
Yeah.
be
Do I?
interested in that.
Gonna need to get bids again.
I would say, if you don't mind, that I was the lowest bidder for the litter pickup. I
Right.
think at the congregation or whoever, the people on the board, I actually seen our workers out on your road picking up trash. I hope that you were satisfied.
Y'all did a good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, I've seen them several times. They do an excellent job.
Thank you.
Peggy, I come to a meeting, was it last week or week before last? And y'all were on, I live on 10 Mile, you know, I live out there close to the landfill.
Yeah.
And y'all were picking up trash, putting it in the bags. When I live going home at 7:30. And y'all were still out there throwing them trash bags onto that trailer. Of course, you had flashers and all going.
Yes, sir.
But I tell you what, I want to commend you on a great, wonderful job that you have done.
Thank you.
We have been talking about trying to come up with something, netting or tarp. We've got to slow it down on 10 Mile. That very next morning, I had to come back to town for another meeting, and guess what was right in the road? Did you see it? That couch, the center part of it, you know how a couch comes with and then you got the connector part. And I went by there at 7:30, the next morning, 10 o'clock, when I come to the meeting, there it was on the side of the road. I mean,
That's it.
we do have a problem with that. We've got to address it.
We do. Some of the things on 10 Mile, I would say, is not the worst road. You have Merle Miles. You got all these other roads, dirt roads, that's way worse than 10 Mile. 10 Mile is pretty bad. Don't get me wrong, because people's heading to the landfill out there with their pickup trucks, and everything is blowing off the truck and off the trailer. And then you have some people that say, oh, that might be a clear spot to throw some trash. And they throw some trash. But at the end of the day, I just thank God that I do have a crew that's willing to get out there and do the cleanup or whatnot. And I'm just grateful for them. I really am. So as I was saying, that I am the lowest bidder for the litter pickup, but for a pretty good bid, I think I was. But if they can just amend some of that for my gas, that's the only thing I'm asking. As long as I stay up under whoever the next bidder was. So I don't want to go over nobody, or I don't want to underbid myself, which I did, but I do think I need to accommodate my workers the way they're working.
Thank you, Peggy. You went over 5 minutes, but you're not our normal.
Okay.
What you brought up was a lot of interest to all the commissioners, something that we need to talk about, openly.
Thank you.
But to answer your
Good, Ms.
question,
Peggy.
I'm not sure that we can extend that without putting it out for bid. I guess that's something we're gonna have to discuss amongst ourselves, commissioners amongst ourselves, and see what we can do. But I do commend you for the job that you have done.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Scrap tire under new business, item B, we moved item A up. We already done it, Mike.
There is a state EPD grant. It's called the Scrap Tire Grant. This grant is paid for if you go buy a new tire, they charge you $2.
$5, something.
$5
Five.
They charge you so much per tire for this type of stuff, for people abusing it or whatever. In this grant, I've managed several, applied for several of them and managed them in the past, and it's a very good grant. It takes a little work to do all the paperwork and to manage, and we'll have some work to do from the landfill. But it's a very good grant. You can apply up to $50,000, and that's what I intend to do. I just need your approval to do that.
And that would go to the landfill, is that what you're saying?
It would go toward disposal of all the scrap tires that we pick up.
And there's no funds, no matching funds or
No
anything?
matching fund.
Okay.
Any discussion? What's the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion that we
Ms. Sarah makes a motion that we
apply for the grant.
apply for the grant. I have a second. Charlie Leggett, second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries unanimous. Thank y'all.
I think you'll be satisfied. It's worked good for me in the past.
Item C, Splash Committee. We need 2 people to meet with the city. We're having some differences with the city on what they think and what we think as far as the splash. So I've asked Charlie and Darrell if they would to serve on this committee to meet with the city next week and see if we can't come up with some solution. Charlie's already agreed to it. Darrell, would you agree to it?
Sure.
Okay. Mike will get with you and we'll get together and set up a meeting with the city
Soon as we
so we can try to get this thing worked out and get it moving on. Item D is new pool update. Mike?
Kenny's gonna give you an
Timmy?
Mike.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Chairman, do we need a motion to formally allow them to represent us?
I'm not sure. I didn't think we did, but do we,
If
Tracy?
they're gonna conduct on behalf of the entire board, we need to give them that authority to do it.
If we do, I'll go ahead and make a motion to appoint Charlie and Leggett and Darrell Edwards to
All right, we'll do it
the.
that way. I got a motion to appoint Charlie and Darrell. I have a second.
I'll second.
Ms. Sarah, second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries unanimous. Go ahead, Mr. Timmy.
We made a lot of progress this past month with the pool. The power was installed, the water has been installed, the sewer line has been hooked up, the pool closure has been completed. The backwash system, which is an 8-inch pipe, has been installed to the existing park drains. 6 downspouts, which is 4 inches of pipe each, from the building gutter was also installed to the existing park drainage. So we should have no drainage issues there. All that's getting straight into the system and should get out of there. The road department has prepped some ground around the building for some concrete. Signs have been ordered to meet all the Georgia Department of Health regulations for the commercial swimming pool. The service lines for the telephone and internet is being installed today, actually. The concrete pads, 15 foot on the roadside, 28 foot on the park side for some outdoor space was prepped today. Should be poured by Thursday. I met with a representative of Hawkins Water Treatment, and they will be handling our bulk chemicals. We've got to get a 800-gallon tank for the chlorine, a 500-gallon tank for the acid. And all that's got to have catch basins with it in case anything leaks or whatever. That's all set up. We did the paperwork today on it, and he should get that in this week.
Timmy, on that, where are you intending to put those 2 enclosures?
They on the back end by the road. If you ride by there, it's open. That's where they're set to go.
That's the 2 original 2 doors that were there originally?
Well, it'll be a fenced in when they get through with it.
Okay, will it have its own pad and
Yeah,
containment?
it's part of the building. The tank's set on the very end, and then all your controls is right next to it in a different room. So it's all isolated.
Okay.
And some of the things that hasn't been done, and we're waiting on, Atlanta Gas told me that they would have it completed by mid-September. And of course, that pool heater is not going to stop us from moving forward. ATC give me a date of about the same time for them to get the connections from the road into the building. And we've already prepped everything for them. The plastering is scheduled to start September the 8th, and it's going to take 2 days to complete it. And after that, the fence will go back up around the concrete pads. And we should put water in the pool approximately September the 13th and start testing the pool operations around the 15th. So we've made a lot of movements on the pool.
I will say one thing, had a little issue with the city a few minutes ago, but they did do,
They
a good bit of
did.
work
They did.
on drainage and installing some pipe.
Mhm.
But did they work a week, probably?
Probably about 4 days, yeah.
And furnished the pipe, now we'll pay them back on the pipe,
Yeah.
but
We did find a sewer hookup for that old building used to sit, the press box for that little field. We was able to locate that sewer line, so that made hooking the sewer up a lot easier. They didn't have to cut into the road or anything, so
Great.
that helped. But we made a lot of progress.
So Timmy, what's the time frame of it being open?
Now that's gonna go to how quick I can get ATC in there and we can get operating permits and all that, so it's kinda, I gotta get with them and get some inspections but I'm hoping, gosh, at least 1st of October. But we're getting close, getting close. That's it.
let me tell about the old pool officer. Tell them about the renovations on the TJ Parker pool.
Yeah, they've started on the renovations over there. I think they've replastered a little bit. I'm not sure about everything that's going on, but I think they're close to finishing. So, and I'm hoping they changed out that hydrostatic valve, which is what I've been saying has been leaking for the last 5 years.
I'm sure he did, he had some water in it one day.
Yeah,
He does not have it completely filled up because he has to do some more plaster work.
yeah.
Timmy, how's things going? I know it's off the subject, but I think you're pretty much through with your football going to the new field.
It's going well. We've moved to total football operations out there, so everybody's coming out there for practice and all, and it's running good. Running good. We're gonna have 4 more teams out there Thursday.
Yeah, I went out there one day to look, and they're practicing not on the field, but they're practicing
Right.
sort of behind the
Yeah,
axle.
yeah, around on the other grounds, yeah.
Side of it, toward the
Yeah.
town, yeah.
Yeah.
Are is the middle school gonna use those fields for ball games?
No. Not that I'm aware, no, I know they're not. They're going to the high school, they're gonna be on the turf, I'm assuming, yeah.
You think they're gonna play at the high school? The reason I was asking, I was told that the ball team's gonna be, the high school would be practicing on the field on Wednesdays. Actually, somebody asked me, and I said, no, they've always played high school, I'm sure they will. So, but you think that they will be playing on the high school field?
I think they've already played a home game, haven't they?
No.
Yeah. They
We had
have?
one game in Almus so far along.
Yeah. I'm not aware of them playing out there. So.
I didn't know, I just was curious.
Now, Appleton Christian,
Well, I
that's
did
playing.
get a thing from the touchdown club saying needed help moving chairs for the ball game tomorrow. Maybe that's at the high school, I don't know.
When do your football games start, Timmy?
Football?
Yeah.
It'll be late September.
Okay.
And I know we're playing the 22nd. With the 12U, we put them all on one team, and we're playing like a tri-county league with Vidalia Lions, Jeff Davis, and Bacon. And I know we think we go over to Vidalia or to Lions the first game. And they'll get to play at the pit over there on their turf. We'll go to Vidalia High School and play. And we're going to end our season here at the stadium, and Toombs County's going to come over and play our 12U as in our stadium.
Okay.
So, and I've worked that out with Coach Mullis and with him, so we set to go.
Thank you.
Timmy, how did your travel ball tournament turn out? I heard good things on it.
It went very well. We got a lot of positive comments, and we're actually going to do it again this Saturday. He's coming back.
Just coming back there.
Yep.
I mean,
That's, I tell you, that's good for the community.
I've-
It's good for the restaurants.
We're trying to do an impact. Did you hear anything?
Carrie was getting that for me, but she never got back with me with it.
Y'all gonna be shocked at the impact.
Oh, we've always said it would be humongous.
Yeah.
Money be brought into this county
Yep.
when the tournament started. I didn't mean to interrupt again, but I'm one of them guys, when I get something on my mind, I have to say it.
Well, the complex has been reshingled, the roofing's been completed, or some, probably be completed this week, it's almost through. And we did install a charging station out there for cell phones that was donated by the Okefenokee Regional Library. So, We've done a lot of stuff.
Deal.
Where was that at? The ball field or pool?
Yeah,
you talking
at
about?
the ball field complex.
It's got Wi-Fi and charging center and everything.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. Yep. And that's it.
Thank you, Timmy.
Thank you, Timmy.
Timmy, I see where Evelyn Christian School utilizes our complex for their soccer games, and the middle school uses it for softball. Does that interfere with your, that's not interfering with your program? is it? Okay.
That grass is growing so fast, we're cutting them lines out before we play football game.
Yeah, I know. Cut grass last week, had to cut it again Friday. Anybody else got any questions or comments for Timmy? Item E is bid approval for new roof at Pineman. Mike, you gonna do that or?
Yes, we had two bids. We opened them at 4 o'clock. It was open to the public. Robin, can you read those bids off? One was local, one was from out of town. The lowest bid was the local. 20.
I got it right here somewhere.
That don't matter. Go ahead. Yes, you read. You got to put it down.
Local bid was $25,650, and the other bidder from Hoboken, Georgia was $26,535. My recommendation would be go with the low bidder.
Have any questions, comments?
Both of the bids were all the same work, removal of existing shingles and,
That's correct.
okay. I'll make a motion to accept the low bid.
Have a motion by Doug Harris to accept the low bid. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Charlie Leggett, second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries unanimous. I guess we're down to item 8, executive session for personnel. For those of y'all that need to leave, we appreciate you coming. And hope we answered all your questions. Look forward to seeing you again.
Got to have a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion. I make a motion, we adjourn
Got a
here.
motion to go into executive session. Have a second. Second by Charlie. All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries unanimous. About to get ahead of us. Back up for you.
Mr. Chairman, you need a motion to go back into regular session?
Yes, we do.
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Need a motion now to go back into regular session. Your motion was to close
To close
executive.
executive session and reopen.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Regular session, yes, sir.
I didn't hear both of them.
Okay, sir, I'm sorry.
All right, Brooks, you wanna come on and give your report? Sure. We missed Brooks. I don't know how, he's a big old fella.
I was better hiding in the back. Talking football with Timmy. Just a few things here, I'll be pretty brief. We did get our 911 signs in this past week. We are in the process now of installing those. Hopefully, I think it's 88 signs. Hopefully that'll kind of wind us up on that, other than having to go back and get the ones that were stolen after we had first put them out. Pipes, I think a couple of y'all might have noticed it last week. We are still running a little bit of a shortage on pipe. They had their main machine went down at the culvert production plant. We talked to them today. They will start back production this week, so hopefully we will get some pipe. We do have some places that we are waiting for pipe to come in before we work on them, so we're hoping that'll be coming soon. Dunn's Lake, the boat ramp, we should be starting that up in about the next week or so. We got a construction supervisor from DNR that's going to come in and do consulting on that project. That'll be our first push-in boat ramp that we've done. So we appreciate the DNR helping us with that.
Brooks, we might not invite them to come out and watch it, because if we mess up, we might push them. But we're trying something new.
Yeah, that's why they're gonna be there, so we don't mess up. Because I want to do this thing once and get it right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work good.
Yeah, I do too.
They do it all the time.
Yeah, he assured me that with the land we've got out there right now and how that thing's already sitting, it won't take a whole lot of work to get that thing ready for concrete. Last thing I have is just kind of hopefully a future request. As far as our detail goes, I would kind of request that in the future, we maybe see about hopefully getting one detail back. I know in the 2 months that we hadn't had them, we have really missed them. We especially have some projects we want to do as far as cleaning out some of our outflow ditches and our canals that we can't get equipment on. We got a lot of old growth, old timber, so we can't get equipment to it. They were really good on that, and there's been several things that just having the detail would sure be nice. So it's something maybe y'all could consider in the future. We would definitely appreciate it.
I think we're gonna have to look at that to clean out some ditches. Doug, some of those ditches we were looking at.
Right.
We've talked about it, and we're gonna have to have,
Some additional help
yes,
from somewhere.
manpower to get in there.
Right.
And we can do some with machines, but some of it's just impossible.
Yeah, some of it that we've done in the past, you have to walk in there to get it.
Are you short of manpower?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what I thought. So you need to tell us how many employees you think you might need so we can advertise for those positions as well.
My thing is, and it would definitely be cheaper in the long run, is to get our detail back. Bringing in 5 detail is a lot better than probably trying to hire 5 staff to do that type of work. And to be honest, that type of work we're talking about, getting people to come in and do that will be tough.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about you just being short in general. I'm not talking about to come in and do.
Yeah, we did. Of course, we lost one last week. It was one of our seasonal help. He left to take another job, better opportunity, needed more money, being a family man now. So we are at the point where all we have is the people who run our equipment. We have nobody extra.
Yeah.
If I'm doing signs, potholes, things like that now, we got to shut a job down to do that. And that's equipment sitting on the side of the road. So that's kind of where we stand as far as that goes. I know we had labor positions. We no longer have that. All we have is equipment operator spots. That's all I got. Any questions?
Thank you, Brooks. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Much to my sorrow, in executive session, we had to talk about Mike Deal. He's just acting, although I wish he would be here full time. But anyway, we talked about it, and Doug, you want to? You said you would
Yes,
give him
sir.
a little detail about it.
Well, I would like to make a motion if it is appropriate at this time.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to advertise for applicants for our county manager in the Atlanta, Savannah, and Baxter News banners, the ACCG website, and other media outlets available for a minimum of 3 weeks or longer as necessary to obtain an adequate pool of candidates.
That's a form of motion, correct?
That is in the form of a motion, yes, sir.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Charlie Lake, second. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Reluctantly.
Any other commissioners got anything at this time? Brother Mike, you got anything this time?
Yeah, no.
I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming. What to travel along the night, but thank y'all so much for coming. Appreciate
Mr.
your
Mike, I
patience.
do have something to say as the county attorney. I want to say how much I appreciate Mike Deal coming in and helping us through a rough time. He made it a lot easier on me.
Amen.
And I appreciate him, he's going to be missed.
He's gonna be missed, but now, he's not leaving this week, he's gonna be here.
It's
He's
been
gonna
my
be here.
pleasure. I love this county and I love this group. And I like what I see. Athens got a lot of potential. Need a little bit of vision and a few other things, but the future looks great for Athens County. I'm excited.
Yeah, he's gonna be here for another week or two. We just got to go ahead and start advertising. Anybody else? All right. Being this meeting adjourned.
Adjourned.